Good morning, Unity of Tustin. I'm Patricia Bahia, and I know we're going to start service in a few minutes. I want to invite you to sing this opening song with me before we start. It's called You Are Welcome Here, and it's really simple. You are welcome here, you are welcome here, no matter where you come from, no matter where you've been. Come on in. You are welcome. You are welcome here. You are welcome here. No matter where you come from, no matter where you've been, come on in. You are welcome here. You are welcome here. Change a thing. Just bring yourself and come on in. And now we're gonna change the key and go up one more time. Yeah. You are welcome here. You are welcome here. No matter where you come from, no matter
Thank you. This is Patricia Bahia. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Are Karen and Claudia going to join you, Patricia? Are you being accompanied by Karen and Claudia? They're written on my...
I have no idea who those people are.
Okay, so I guess it's just Patricia today.
although everyone is welcome to join. I mean...
Okay, so my name is Kim Manning, and I am your board treasurer. Welcome. And hey, on this beautiful sunny August day. So we have Craig Stephen Phillips with us today, and he will be talking on Buddha's 8 Steps to Happiness. And Patricia, we have as our musician. We are preparing for this year's all-community fall program, Commitments to Consciousness. There will be many ways to participate in this annual program by joining in a spirit group, including joining in a spirit group. There are other ways to participate as well. We are looking for spirit group facilitators right now. There's lots of support available. And so if you're curious about that, you can talk to Kathy Andrews, who's outside. She is our coordinator for that program. And for a little board update, so it was mentioned before that a developer made an offer on our property here. That was an unsolicited offer, and it was for $10.5 million. So as a board, we discussed it. You know, that's our fiduciary responsibility to discuss those things. And we came to a unanimous decision that we do not want to sell the property. Yay! Yeah, we don't want to sell it, but we did feel it is we need to consider all factors when it relates to anything of the church's ongoing security. So, no, we're not planning to sell the property, but I think there were some unclear people got some ideas that maybe we were thinking about it. We did have a discussion because, a few years ago, the church was having some difficulty. And we've turned the corner. We are in a much better place. So we aren't anything like needing to do that. The only time we would consider doing that was if we got to a point where we were insolvent or something like that. And that's not where we are at all. So we're not planning to do anything like that. In fact, we are looking to get a preschool, which would lock us in for 10 years anyway. But it is definitely our intention to stay here in this property. So if you have any questions, ask me, but we are not selling it. Okay. All right. Thank you. And now Patricia will lead us in our congregational song.
All right. So I invite you to sit with your feet flat on the floor, if that's an option for you. Sit up straight. If you'd like to close your eyes, you can. And we're just going to breathe in and breathe out. Center down. Let me get in the right key. I don't know what that was. Center down. There we are. Enter in. The noise will fade away as you begin to listen to the quiet inside your soul. Every worry, let it go, let it go, let it go, let it go. Breathe in, breathe in, breathe out. Repeat after me. Breathe out. Let peace be now, be now. Breathe in, breathe out. Let love be now. Embrace yourself for all you are, and listen to the truth inside your heart. Forget the past and what the future holds. Don't worry about what you don't know. Let it go, let it go, let it go. Breathe in, breathe in, breathe out, breathe out. Let joy be now.
Well, now I must break the spell just a little bit as we transition to the sacred opening ritual for our service, the lighting of the Christ candle and the reading of the daily word. My name is Stephanie Aho. I'm one of the prayer chaplains here at UoT of Tustin, and it's my joy and honor to welcome you this morning again and be present and serve as your prayer chaplain and platform assistant this morning. So we'll begin with the lighting of the Christ candle, which symbolizes that divine light of Christ that resides within us and connects us all. The word for today, Sunday, August 18th, 2024, is wholeness. The affirmation, as a divine being, I am whole. And the scripture inspiring today's message is from the Gospel of Luke. If then your whole body is full of light, with no part of it in the darkness, it will be as full of light as when a lamp gives you light with its rays. I know I am whole, wondrously made, and a unique expression of the divine. But I cannot truly know wholeness if I become distracted by an experience of illness or thoughts of lack or limitation. I do not resist limiting thoughts. Instead, I let the light of divine understanding dissolve the darkness of spiritual ignorance. Remembering that divine life lives as me, I affirm my body's wholeness, even if I am experiencing the appearance of illness. Growing awareness of the limitless flow of divine ideas reminds me that I have all I need to experience a joyous, abundant life. As I say yes again and again to my true spiritual nature, my life becomes an ever-unfolding demonstration of wholeness. And the affirmation again, as a divine being, I am whole. Together, as a divine being, I am whole. And so it is.
And so it is. So this next song is called You Are the Sky. And I chose it for today because it was inspired by a quote from a Buddhist monk named Pema Chodron. And she talks about how thoughts, limiting beliefs, the appearance of illness, these are all just fleeting moments, fleeting thoughts, and what we really are is the sky. So all these thoughts, all these things are just like the clouds. And we just need to let them pass by and remember that we are the sky. I can see that you've been hurting, and your world feels like it's spinning out of control. Pushing through the wind and the rain, you keep on searching. But it's so dark, you can't see which way to go. You try so hard to hold it all together. You've been at the mercy of the changing winds forever. But who you really are was here before the start of time. You are not the storms that keep on rolling through your mind. You are the sky. You are the sky. Everything else is just the weather. Clouds roll by. The sun may hide for a while, but in the darkest night the stars still shine. And you are the sky. You are not the emptiness you feel. You are so much more than that, more than can be seen. Bigger than the darkness and the light of a billion stars. The endlessness that's always here, that's who you really are. The boundless love that holds us all together. The blue beyond the blue, beyond the blue, forever. You are the sky. You are the sky. Everything else is just the weather. Clouds roll by. The sun may hide for a while. In the darkest night, the stars still shine. And you are the sky. The sky doesn't need to worry when the storms come rolling in, throwing lightning bolts in the howling wind. 'Cause it knows it will be clear again, clear again, clear again. You are the sky. You are the sky. Everything else is just the weather. Clouds roll by. The sun may hide for a while. In the darkest night, the stars still shine. In the darkest night, the stars still shine. the darkest night, the stars still shine. You are the sky. You are the sky.
One of my dear teachers used to say that prayer is talking to God. Meditation is listening to God. Many of you are listening right now to this deep depth, this inner peace, this inner silence, just from the music that we heard so far this morning. We're so infused with the presence, wasn't it? Isn't it? I don't think there's ever been a better congregational song than we did today. Brought tears to my eyes. So as we come together to pray, perhaps using words to reach God, remembering that God is within you, as you. For those of you that have your eyes open, God is looking through your eyes right now. Do you feel that? As we come to pray, let's take a breath together and feel as if you're breathing right through the chest into your heart. Breathe open. You might even touch your heart with your right palm, or you can put your hands together in a prayer position, since this is called the time of prayer. As you breathe into the heart, breathe this deep sense of gratitude for being here this morning. You woke up today. You get to come here to this beautiful sanctuary and be with your spiritual community, your Sangha. Everything else is icing on the cake today. And as we breathe again into the heart, breathe. Feel that your breath is infused with a great sense of love for you, as you are. Because as you are, we are the Buddha. The Buddha is not outside you. The Buddha is you. You are the Christ. And as we breathe that love again into the heart, feel that you internally are kneeling down to your highest self, capital S. And if you encounter any heaviness in your heart, any doubt, if you carried any fear or worry here today, any anxiety, problems, when you breathe out, let it go. Right through the chest. Just let go. One of the primary teachings the Buddha gave his monks, apparently, over and over, he said, let go. You know what you need to let go of today. That great question. What do I need to let go of to be at peace? Only you know. And as we feel that space opening in the heart from the breath, bring the prayer in the language of your own heart, of what you may need today, or giving thanks. Whatever inspires you in this moment, let that be your prayer for a moment to the divine within you. And as the words begin to fade, look and see if your prayer is not fulfilled, just through the silence within. And let yourself begin to rest today. Rest in that deep silence within, the deep presence in your own heart. Rest, rest. Let go and rest.
You're right in front of me, but it's like you're in another place. I can see your mind moving faster than a full-speed freight train. You got so many plates you're spinning, you're afraid to even let one fall. You don't want to miss a thing, but you're missing what means most of all. Be here now. Be here now. This moment in time is one of a kind, and it's never coming back around. So be here now. You say it's only temporary. You will smell the roses soon. I understand the feeling. There's so much you think you have to do. But remember that your worth isn't measured by the work you've done. The only thing that matters in the end is how much you've loved. So be here now. Be here now. This moment in time is one of a kind, and it's never coming back around. So be here now. Just breathe. Just breathe. just be here with me. Be here now. Be here now. This moment in time is one of a kind, and it's never coming back around.
Just notice that meditation is already happening. Resting here, being present here with what is meditation. No effort is required. We don't need to struggle. All that we need to do is rest. And as you begin to rest again, come to your breathing. As you come to this breath, feel that it's the greatest gift you've been given today, because it is. Feel it fresh and new. We take our breath for granted. And as you breathe, let the body be very, very still. Let whatever nervousness or tensions in your body just dissolve. Rest. And as we feel the breath today, feel for a moment that it's not only flowing into your heart through your chest, but also flowing through your forehead like a gentle breeze. And as you breathe in, the breath comes and sweeps the mind. Feel it. For those of you that haven't closed your eyes, I encourage you to rest. Breath coming in, sweeping the mind of any remaining anxiety, holding on, confusion, sorrow. And as you breathe out, the out-breath carries all of this out through your forehead. As you draw your next in-breath this way, repeat to yourself, breathing in, present moment. Breathing out, wonderful moment. Breathing in, I am home. Breathing out, I am free. As each breath comes now, feel the breath as an invitation to rest in the breath. And when you find that your awareness drifts off, perhaps this will happen, into the mind, into the story, into the internal dialogue, this is not a problem. Today, something in you will recognize that you've gone away from your breath, which is like saying you've gone away from the present moment. Because notice, your breath happens now. When you drift off, you wake up and you gently come back to rest in your breath again. Most of the time, we are lost in the torrent of our thoughts. Today, I invite you as you meditate to rest in your breath. As we continue to breathe for a moment, let your awareness include your listening. Notice that you can do this easily. The sky of awareness, as we heard in the song, is what you are. Not the thoughts and the feelings and the emotions that appear in the sky. They come and go. Notice, this is what we notice in meditation. Nothing sticks around in there for very long if you just observe. So as you breathe, feeling the breath fresh and new, listen as well. Let your awareness be listening to the silence that's here, the stillness. Drawing another breath now, fresh and new. As you breathe out, internally repeat the sound of ah to yourself, letting go. Do that several breaths, breathing in, breathing out on the internal sound of ah. Let's do one out loud. Breathing in. Ah, feel that. Again, breathe in. Ah. One more. Ah. Feel that. Listen to these words from the space you're in now, from the great Zen master Thich Nhat Hanh. Remember the words of the Buddha. The past no longer exists, and the future is not yet here. The only moment in which you can be truly alive is the present moment. The present moment is the destination, the point to arrive at. The address of the Buddhas and the Bodhisattvas, which is you, is here and now. That is the address of happiness, the address of life. The Buddha said life is accessible only in the present moment. Life with all its wonders is accessible right now. So, meditation is the practice we use to come back to the present moment. Take a breath again, and as you breathe, notice now, now, now. Today I'm speaking a little bit about a Dharma topic that I've never done a full talk on. The 8 steps to happiness. This was suggested to me a couple of months ago by Mary Jean. She inspired me. She wrote, "You ever thought about speaking of this?" And I thought, "Oh, that sounds like a pretty good idea." So to understand these 8 steps of happiness, and by the way, all of us are taking the most important step right now. Mindfulness. Notice. Many of you came in today perhaps with a lot of burdens and problems. Just by being present here with everyone, a lot of that has just melted away, hasn't it? What problem do you have right now? 0. Yeah. It's true, isn't it? This is what the Buddhist masters discovered. That when they're really here and now, there's no problem here. I did a whole Dharma talk on that, I don't know how many months ago. Maybe some of you were here. Notice that as we sit together today. Because this really is the foundation for the Buddha's teaching. Present moment awareness now. This sense of being here now is Buddha. Awakened awareness. You are awake. You're no longer, notice most of you, you're not in the dream of your mind right now, thinking and worrying and wondering what you're going to do later. That's like a dream, isn't it? It's constantly going on. Through meditation, we step out of that dream and here we are. Here it is, clear. It's really miraculous. So, to understand these 8 steps to happiness, we've already done the most important, which is meditation, or what we're going to be hearing about, the Buddha called wise concentration, putting our attention one-pointedly. Today we use the breath. But you can continue this by being present in your body right now, looking through your eyes. You are aware of the words I'll be speaking. That awareness is Buddha. Awakened awareness. Buddha just means a person who's awake. Versus someone that you meet who's asleep, even though they've got their eyes open. The Buddha said most human beings will walk through their life like zombies, completely asleep, lost in the mind, lost in the future. Boy, when I get there, I'm going to be happy. When I do that, I'm really going to be able to be at peace. Has that worked for anybody yet? That future strategy? Well, the Buddha realized that, 2,400 years ago, 2,400 years ago. It's important to remember who he was and the background that he came out of. A lot of you know the Buddhist story, but I find it very compelling. He was very, very wealthy, was in line to be the king of this area that's now in Nepal. We know this is historically accurate. And he was going to inherit the throne. He had everything that a person could desire at that time, right? But still he had desires, right? And so as time went on, there's a whole story about why he decided to leave the palace. That could be a whole other Dharma talk. But let's just go to the point where the Buddha realizes that he is feeling unsatisfied with his life. Can you relate? Anybody? Even those, even those of you that may have outwardly everything. You don't have a worry about money or anything. After a while, there is this sense of dissatisfaction, isn't there? This is why I went to the spiritual path at about 18. This very feeling. Something was not quite right. Underneath my skin, like a sliver I couldn't get out. No matter what I did, even at that age, no matter where I went, no matter what concert I went to or what girl I was with or whatever, it left me with emptiness. There was just a profound emptiness inside of me. Maybe some of you relate. I always say, you likely would not be sitting in the sanctuary right now if it weren't for what I'm describing. You'd be at home right now, happy as a lark, watching the baseball game or whatever's on today, not thinking about being the Buddha, being one who's awake, one who's joyful, and most of all without suffering, psychological suffering. So there was the Buddha. And he decided one day, I've got to leave. I'm just unhappy. I'm dissatisfied. He would later term this dukkha, which is not quite right, unsatisfactory. A lot of Buddhists, they tend to feel that this term means suffering. And there is a level of suffering there, isn't there? Low-grade suffering. Then we have the high-grade suffering when things don't go our way, or we go through a challenge, or we get a breakup, whatever. But there's this low-grade feeling of unease. How about that? Most of the time, that leads people to the spiritual path. Well, there's the Buddha. It leads him to leave the palace and start wandering around northern India for 6 years. There's another Dharma talk, what he went through. He tried every listen up. He tried every spiritual technique he came across. He was a renunciate, gave up everything he had, was an ascetic, meaning that he lived on very little, probably wore just a loincloth. His hair was probably matted at one point. Went through all kinds of rigorous spiritual practices, fasting, all of those things. By the way, I find it interesting that the life of Buddha lines up so clearly with the life of Jesus, but I'll talk about that in a minute. So after 6 years of wandering, trying all of these different techniques, we can only imagine he was still frustrated. He had reached inner times there where he would go very, very deeply into his own being and experience his oneness with, we can't even say what it is, can we? But he got there. But it would soon go, and he was frustrated again, and everything was unsatisfying. So one day, when he was up in northern India, he came across a fig tree. And he said to the universe, I'm going to sit here until I wake up spiritually. Can you imagine that resolve? Please listen. Please listen. So, he sat down and he vowed that he would not move. He would rather die than move. He wanted liberation, freedom from this psychological suffering he was going through. Freedom into his true nature. Inner freedom. And so he sat. The stories vary about how long he sat. Some say 49 days. For sure, it probably was around 49 days. But it varies as to when the Buddha, in the middle of the night, woke up to his true nature. Out of the fog of his mind, he was born again. It could have been one night. The Zen Buddhists tend to think they would too, that it's one night, instantaneously. And then he sat for another 48 days, absorbing this experience. It really doesn't matter how long it took, because he had been practicing for 6 years. We can't even imagine that kind of rigorous training he was putting himself through. So he wakes up one night while he's sitting. Mara, who in the Bible would be called the devil, but it's not quite the devil, but it's like that. The tempter comes and offers the Buddha everything, sends temptations at him. What does this sound like? Any of you familiar with the story of Christ in the wilderness? It is so similar. Christ was tempted by the devil with worldly power and pleasures that beyond, all of it was there, worldly. You can throw yourself off the cliff. The Buddha, the same thing. And he withstood this temptation, just as Christ did. And in the morning, as the morning star appeared, the Buddha was awakened. He knew who he was, and he knew that he was not who he had been. The scriptures, there's 3 scriptures in the Bible that describe the same experience for Jesus. So we can take that this was an historical event. Jesus came down and it said that he was filled with the Holy Spirit after these 40 days of fasting. The apostles knew this man is not the man that went into the wilderness. And by the way, he went after his baptism. Very, very significant. He comes down, he is radiant. The Buddha wakes up, he is radiant. And so he sits for 49 days and he contemplates what he's going to do with this that he has discovered, rediscovered within him. What he decides to do is slowly that actually he hadn't decided. It was kind of decided for him. I love the way that happens. You know, Chuang-Tzu says, don't make decisions. Let decisions make themselves. That's what happened to the Buddha. Same with Jesus. He came down. That's how he started his ministry, was after that fast, if you read the Gospels. Now he was ready. Buddha, he didn't know. Then the decision was made because as he was sitting in the deer park very close to what is now called the Bodhi tree, the fig tree is now called the Bodhi tree. It's there still in India. Bodhi means the enlightenment tree, right? That's the one he sat down under. But as he's sitting there in the deer park, along come 5 monks that he had wandered with for some time. They had kind of kicked the Buddha out for different reasons. He was a little bit of a rebel, and, thank God he was. And they come along, and it is said that the Buddha, that first of all, that when they saw the Buddha, they could see that something had shifted in him greatly. All was forgiven. What they wanted to know was, what happened to you and how do we get it? And out of that, his great compassion, he formulated what would become his teaching. And that teaching, part of that major teaching, are these 8 steps to happiness. Now, first of all, the Buddha shared with these monks the 4 noble truths. This came out of his awakening. And I'll share those with you very briefly. The first noble truth, see if you can relate. The first noble truth, life is unsatisfying. It's satisfying and it's not satisfying. In life, there's suffering. Things change, they die, they go away. You think this will make you happy for a while, then it changes, it doesn't make you happy anymore. And things are in constant flux like this. And we're trying to get our happiness out of this. That's the first noble truth. Second noble truth, this feeling of unsatisfaction, of things just not filling us, fulfilling us, comes about through craving and desire. You ever notice that? It's not quite good enough, and then we want something else. Isn't it true? We just think there's that thing or that person. We get that, that's going to be it. I'm going to be happy. I won't ask you for anything else, God, for the rest of my life. That lasts for about 3 minutes, and then we're asking for something else. Well, I know you were good, but it could be better, right? The Buddha said this is like a rat on a wheel. It's an endless cycle of desire and attachment. Then when we get what we want, what do? We hold on to it as it slips through our fingers. Anybody ever had that happen? You got something you want? It leaves when it's time to leave. Change and impermanence is part of the law of the universe. And the Buddha talked about that a lot, right? I talked about that in a Dharma talk a month ago or so. So, desire, clinging is the reason for our suffering. You might notice that in your own life. These desires you have spur you on to the next thing. And it's never quite enough. Never quite get there. We could say the mind is a desire factory. Isn't it true? Yes. That's why it's called a noble truth. That's 2. Third, and this is when it starts getting to be good news. There's a way out of this mess. There's a way out of this psychological suffering. And that leads us to the 4th noble truth. The way out of that is by walking the 8-fold path. Now, I called it the 8 steps of happiness because I wanted to update it a little bit today, right? 1 step, I feel happy. 2 steps, I feel happy. But Buddha called it the noble 8-fold path. It's 8 steps, but it's not really steps. Many of you are familiar with the wheel of the Dharma, and it's got 8 spokes. It's very prominent in Buddhism. Those 8 spokes are each step of the 8-fold path. They don't go linear. It's not like taking steps out this way. They go in to the center. And the center is inner freedom. The center is unparalleled joy. The center is finding out who you are in your core. Not this mind, right? But that which we truly are. The sky, as we heard in the song, awakened awareness. That's what it leads to. So, I'll read the eight steps along the way. I could do a Dharma talk on each of these, but I'm not going to today. I'm going to talk mostly about one, which I've already talked about. But there are 8 steps, and these are usually called like right understanding. Today I'm going to use the word wise understanding. Wise. Wisdom comes out of our hard experience, doesn't it? Lots of us have had enough experience that we've gone through the school of hard knocks, and so we're ready to be wise in how we choose things and the steps we take. Right or wrong, that can get dicey. So we'll call it wise today. Wise understanding is step number 1. Now, wise understanding is just simply that we come to realize that our actions and our words have consequences. That's it. We start to take responsibility for that. So that's the understanding that we live in. Actions, words, they have consequences, and they come back to me. They also have consequences for other people. The second step is wise intention. This is using our intention wisely to bring ourselves to walk this path. There is a wise intention behind every action we take. It takes us within, into this freedom. We don't use our intentions to create chaos and havoc in our life. So wise intention. Wise speech. I love this one. Using your speech in a way that uplifts others, that is kind and loving and compassionate. We all know the opposite, don't we? When we speak out of anger or we speak with impatience, we create harm for another person. We hurt their feelings. So we're wise about the way we say things. There's also an element here of not gossiping. I'll be doing a whole Dharma talk on this, I think, next month or the month after. So wise speech. The wisest speech can be to say nothing at all, to keep quiet, and to be in that quiet as we are in meditation today. So wise speech, that's a really good one. Wise action, that says it all. We live our life so that our actions uplift ourselves and others. We don't steal things. We don't hurt others through our actions. We are mindful of our action in terms of drinking or drugs or other things that we can do that cloud our minds. So the actions that we perform are about bringing us deeper into this harmony and this understanding of our Buddha nature. Wise action. Before you act, will this bring peace? That's a great question to me and others, at least to yourself. Wise livelihood. Very simple. Making the money that you need to live on without hurting others or hurting the environment. Making your money in a way that uplifts others if you can. By the way, you can be a plumber and do this. You can be a car salesman. You can be a doctor, whatever. In yoga, this would be called karma yoga. You dedicate these actions, this job you're doing, to the upliftment of humanity. That's all it is, right? You stop thinking so much in terms of what it does for you. For those of you that are doing jobs that you feel suck your soul or don't fulfill you, start getting on something that does fulfill you. But while you're doing the job you're doing now, give it your 100% attention. Don't make it a means to an end, because then it's all about the future, and then I'll be happy. So right livelihood that serves others and that doesn't hurt anybody. The next one is wise mindfulness, and I've talked already a lot about that today. I was afraid there for a moment our whole talk was actually going to go into meditation, and I was going to speak about the present moment again, because that's really all there is. Wise mindfulness is what we've been doing today. It is bringing our awareness to our life. Where is your life? Not a rhetorical question. Your life is now. Mindfulness is being aware that there is only and ever this eternal instant. Am I here? Am I fully present for life? This miracle that's going on around us. Being mindful with whatever you do. Not thinking that this is a means to an end. Giving your full attention to whatever you're doing, which what you're doing now is listening to these words. Are you here? This is a great question. Mindfulness, when you do the dishes, actually be there doing the dishes, not at the television going, I can't wait to get these dishes done so I can get to my favorite program, right? It's being present with what you're doing. There's a quality of your consciousness that begins to fill everything that you do, and people begin to sense that. And that leads to the final step, the wheel. The final, Thich Nhat Hanh called this like the roof on the building, and that is right meditation. Mindfulness is meditation, but mindfulness can be done no matter what you're doing. The Buddha actually called this wise concentration. This is what we've been doing today earlier, coming to our breath, one-pointedly focusing on what is happening now. The breath is happening, concentration. The reason this is so important is because you probably notice, if you're living in your mind, you're scattered everywhere. Isn't it true? We are thinking, we're not even here in our life. We are thinking about next week. We are thinking about what's going to happen when I talk to that person. I got to write that email. What's going to happen to me in 5 years? On and on. What goes by is our very life. Our very life is happening here, this miracle, and we think it's going to happen a year from now or 5 years from now. It's now. Through concentration, through meditation, we begin to draw our awareness back to the moment of our life, and we begin to be present. And there's a miracle that happens. The quality of your awareness now determines what's going to happen to you. It determines how you'll respond to life. So when we're responding with love and compassion and joy, guess what keeps showing up? More love, more joy, more things to be excited about, more blessings. It's amazing. Those are the 8. If you want a refresher, many of you have read this in Buddhist book. You can find these all over the internet. Just type in the 8 steps to happiness or the Eightfold Path and you can refresh. Now, I gave 8 and I know how that is. For me, if I heard that today instead of 30 or 40 years ago, I'd be overwhelmed. Like, are you kidding me? I don't have time to take 1 step. How am I going to take 8 steps and keep my mind focused on 8 different things to do? What am I doing now? It's right livelihood and I got to do right intention. Did I do my right mindfulness? I don't know. Well, here's the good news. And this comes from Zen Master Thich Nhat Hanh. There's only one. It's the most essential practice. Can you guess what it is? Mindfulness. Oh, you got it. You know because you're experiencing it right now. You're present. If you're drifting off, there's no life. So through this one practice that we have right here by being present, when we make a commitment to this step, here's what he said. Let me read you what he said because it's just amazing. Thich Nhat Hanh said, this is the good news. The most essential step on the Eightfold Path is mindfulness. We are mindfully present right here. And when we do this, all the other steps are included in that one step. So he said, just practice mindfulness because through that, meditation will happen naturally. And through meditation, we will begin to see clearly the areas of our life that are out of balance and perhaps causing us to suffer. Isn't it true? So it works like this. If you decide today, Craig talks about that meditation quite a bit. I think I'll finally get down to sitting for 5 minutes or so every day. Notice I didn't say 50. I didn't say 5 hours. 5 minutes. Okay, let's make it 10. I know we can do 10. No, we'll do 5. Isn't it amazing that we find it hard to get 5 minutes out of the day, to just be still, to come home to who we are, to find this joy and peace within us? So you find that 5 minutes, you start doing this practice, and you're going deeper. Suddenly it becomes timid, and you've done this for a while. Some of you will relate to what I'm about to say. And then one day you're out and you're with some friends who start gossiping about somebody. And there is suddenly an unease in you. Whereas you would have taken part a month ago, 2 months ago, now you remain quiet. And maybe eventually you don't even want to be around these people anymore. Not that you avoid them. You just realize that those relationships, they are not serving who you are anymore. They're not lifting you. Any of you ever been there? Where you've had to let relationships go like that? It's because you realize they're not serving your awareness, your awakening anymore. This happens with partners who are together. Right? I could do a whole Dharma talk on that. I've seen that over and over. Those of you that are in a couple where you have a partner that is supporting you, at least supporting you in what you're doing, this is a great gift that you have. But a lot of times what happens when somebody gets really, really committed to a spiritual path, particularly one like meditation and maybe a strange mantra or whatever, they feel threatened. Like, what are you doing? You're giving all your time, but I want your time. You're suddenly peaceful. How dare you get peaceful? How dare you bring this peace into our house? We used to fight all the time, and suddenly one partner's not engaging. And it's not a disengagement where you're trying to get back at the person. It's because you're at peace. This is what happens when we practice these 8 steps and begin with mindfulness, with this practice of sitting and being present in your life, and watch how all of these other things, it's like pieces of the pie. They all come together in wholeness. The wheel begins to happen. You'll begin to notice, my job isn't serving me. I don't really make an effort over here to be more loving and kind to my sister, whatever it is. So this is the really good news about the 8 steps to happiness. Take the step of mindfulness and then be honest with yourself as you practice meditation. Everything that you need to do or not do in order to be in harmony with life and to experience nirvana. And by the way, nirvana is not some heavenly realm in the future. I see some of you laughing because you've probably studied nirvana. It's much simpler than that. Listen to me. Nirvana is simply the end of your psychological suffering. Can you imagine? Please breathe this in. We think of this big spiritual thing, and no, it's as simple as being free of the mind that torments you. This identification with being this little me, as Eckhart Tolle calls it, that's constantly chattering. We don't need to get rid of it. We'll never extinguish it. But let's say it this way. We come into right relationship with the mind. Wise relationship. How would it be if you had woken up this morning and as you open your eyes, you knew that you were not the voice in your head? How would it be? Pretty amazing, right? Doesn't mean you're not sitting there. There you are. You're seeing, you're clear. You're more clear than you've ever been because you don't have this madness going on about the next thing and what they did to you and the way the world is. All that falls away into peace and mindfulness. True mindfulness is born out of this. True clarity. The ability to really be present with things comes when we truly approach the truth that we are not the voice that's chattering at us in the mind. I only know of one way to establish ourselves in this truth, and that's meditation. Some of you I know meditate with me regularly now. If you look at what's happening, it's a deepening into this awareness, the truth of who you are, the sky, as we heard, this sky-like awareness. Thoughts begin to come and go like clouds in the sky. You don't pay them as much attention. And when you do get caught, you wake up and you come back on this breath to your life now. And in that, there is harmony. In that, you find the happiness that you've been looking for. Sound good? Okay, let's close our eyes and have a breath. See how easy the 8 steps of happiness are? And we're going to do the most important one right now again for just a moment. So notice this coming back. We might have been thinking about what I was saying or whatever's going on. But now we're coming back to just this moment, to the breath. Notice as you come back to the breath, you come back home to the space of your life, which is now and always now. And meditation begins to happen spontaneously. No matter what you do, no matter where you go, you're awake. You are the Buddha. Take another breath as though your life depended on it, because it does. And breathing out, let go. Let go more deeply. Listen. In that hearing, everything is given to us.
And thank you again, Craig, you're just such a master teacher here, and you so beautifully give us this reminder of being here now as really the most important. And really interesting, background of the story of the Buddha and all that. So thank you. And we'd like to welcome now our new guests in person and online. We are so grateful that you have joined us today. Here at Unity of Tustin, we believe in many paths, one God, and our mission is to transform lives and inspire people to make a positive difference in the world. We are a fully inclusive community of all walks of life and would like you to know that whatever your background and wherever you are on your spiritual path, we are glad that you're here to continue your journey with us. Our ushers are coming forward with flowers and welcome cards. For those of you who are here for the first or second time, if you're comfortable doing so, we invite you to raise your hand so we can recognize you and present you with a flower and welcome card. Welcome. Yes, welcome. Thank you for joining us today. We invite everyone to join us after service for food and fellowship around the hospitality table. And as always, we have our Reiki practitioners and wearing green ribbons and the prayer chaplains wearing the white ribbons, who will both be at the entrance to the meditation gardens, ready to offer prayer and healing support. All prayers are confidential. We love to pray with you, so please stop by. In addition, there are prayer request forms in the seat backs in front of you and also at the table there at the garden's entrance, where you may leave your requests in the prayer box there. They will be lovingly held by our silent prayer team. There is always so much happening here at our Campus of Consciousness, so please make sure to check your email each Friday for our weekly e-newsletter, and visit the welcome table for information about the many upcoming and ongoing classes, events, and opportunities to serve as part of our beloved Unity of Tustin community. And a quick plug regarding our reimagined bookstore. We're 4 weeks away from opening in our relocated, remodeled new space of our former library. Just to remind you of our mission, which is to be an open, inviting, inspirational space and place to connect with Unity of Tustin and access materials for spiritual and personal exploration and enjoyment. So make sure to check your e-blast again for that opportunity to vote for your selection from 4 choices for a name for our reimagined bookstore. And that'll be going on for 2 more weeks. And we encourage everyone to let your voice be heard. And now is the time for our love offering as we share our financial gifts in support of our ministry. The various electronic ways to give are on the screen and also in seatbacks in front of you. We also pass the offering bags to receive in-person donations. In whatever form you choose to give, we invite you to briefly hold your hand over the bag as you pass it along and take that moment to connect with the spirit of giving. We are grateful for your faith and generosity. And Craig has a few words.
So we can start to go ahead.
So come forward.
Yeah. The giving that we do, as the Buddha would say, is karmic. Whatever we give comes back to us. And when we give dharmically to the truth, to the community that upholds us, that lifts us when we come here, notice that that's happened today, at least for most of you. This wanting to give back to support the community is a beautiful gesture that only comes in a circle back to us. So whatever you give, know that it's what keeps this community here for you so that you can come here on Sunday and to the other classes and enjoy them, okay? Yeah. Shall we do the love offering blessing, or?
Do the love offering blessing
let's
together. Divine love, as we blesses and multiplies all that we are, all that we have, all that we give, and all that we receive. And now Patricia has another musical gift for us.
Plugging in. Isn't this amazing music today? Wow. Yes.
So this song is called Great Day to Be Alive. And you're welcome to sing along. I love it when you all sing along. You sounded so beautiful earlier. So this part is no words to really remember except this. It's a great day to be alive. Can I hear you do that? It's a great day to be alive. It's a great day to be alive. I got up on the bright side. Nothing's gonna bring me down today. Talking to the mirror, say how to get out of my own way. I'm on the edge of the beginning. I'm at the start of something new. I can see the silver lining, yeah, it's coming into view. It's a great day to be alive. It's a great day to be alive. Feeling good and loving life. It's to be alive. Oh, yeah. I'm not gonna let no imperfection get me down. No, 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 no. I'm not gonna Photoshop or filter any of me out. No, I'm happy in my skin, just being me, myself, and I open up my eyes to see that I am who I am, and it's more than alright. Woo! Do-do-do-do-do-do-do. It's a great day to be alive. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do. It's a great day to be alive. Feeling good and loving life. It's a great day to be alive. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do. It's a great day to be alive. Life's too short to dwell on yesterday, and I can't ever change it anyway. I'm gonna live like there's no tomorrow, 'cause we really only have today. Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. It's a great day to be alive. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do. 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 It's a great day to be alive. Feeling good and loving life. It's a great day to be alive. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do. It's a great day to be alive.
Oh, that was so fun. Thank you, Patricia, for all that wonderful music this morning. Just perfect. Just perfect. Thank you. And now then thank you all for being here this morning. Please join me in the prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Go forth and live it.